All right, y'all. This is your boy DJ Artifx, and we got a pull-up session with our boy. Is it Umreeki or Umreeki?
It's Umreeki.
Umreeki, and that's your surname, correct?
That's actually not my surname.
It's not
Umreeki
you.
is essentially no. My full name's Prashant Verma.
Oh, okay.
Umreeki Umreeki is essentially the Hindi word for an American in Hindi.
Okay, that's how you.
So
Okay, I
that's
got you. I got you. I got
yeah,
you. I got you.
that's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. Because
Yeah,
I'm a
this.
don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
man.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah. So you were known as back in the day as Slick Two Shades, and
Yeah.
now after I heard your music, I was like, yo, you know what? Like this just sounds familiar, and I started like looking it up. And that's why I asked you the other day. I was like, yo, man. So kind of give us some insight about where you've been, what you're doing now, and kind of explain the whole name change and all that.
Yeah. So when you say back in the day, right? Like I it's just something that I decided like very low key to just like switch it out. There
Okay.
was no public disclaimer, no nothing, because I honestly do not think I'm at a stage where people will give a fuck if I tell them that I changed my name. But
I I get where you're coming
yeah,
from.
I used to go by the name of Slick Two Shades, right? And Two Shades is the
Right.
name of my crew. That used to be me and Zan. And I think so you
Okay.
played a couple of our tunes on your
Yes.
show as well, right?
Yes.
I and I've been making music by that moniker for since 2006.
Okay.
Uh, I moved to the US in 2016, and I kept making music by the same moniker, but over the last 2 years, 1.5 years, I started noticing a shift even within me where the things that I've been talking about, the things that I'm uh, trying to figure out, even through my music, right, has it's like on a good day, I feel like I belong to the book to two countries, the US as well as India. And on my
Yeah.
worst days, I feel like I don't belong here or there,
I got you.
right? I feel like a misfit at times when I'm in the US, and I feel like a misfit at times when I'm in India, right?
I
So
get you,
that's
man.
why
Yeah.
through so I'm deciphering all of that shit through my music right now, and that's where I decided to take on the new moniker of Umreeki. Two Shades is still my crew. We don't make music anymore, but we've just been doing it for 15, 16 years. And when you do music for that long with the people you grow up with, then it's not a crew anymore, right? It just becomes family. So that's what it is. I hope that is
Yeah, man.
able to give you somewhat of answer
Yeah.
for what you're looking for.
N- No, definitely. I mean, until I speak to a lot of the artists. So for me, I've only been in this whole Desi hip hop scene for the last like maybe 3 years, 3.5 years. I've been doing music for
Hmm.
about 20 something years. But after I moved to India, this is going to be about almost like 10 years now that I moved. Right when you left is pretty much when I came. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
Yeah,
Where were you based out of before India?
LA, man. I was born and raised in LA, bro.
We
Yeah.
switch places.
Yeah. Exactly, man.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
switch places.
It's really weird. Yeah, it's really weird. Like, and that's why when we cross paths again, it's really good to like go and speak about these things and see what
Hu-
brought you to the other side of the world, and obviously where you're going with things. You know what I mean? Um,
100%, 100%.
yeah, man. If I'm not mistaken, you kind of gave up music for a little while, or you stopped releasing stuff because I remember seeing a gap in your music
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did not give up on making music, but I just reached a point where I started. So I reached a point where I notice when I'm going to the studio and I'm recording the music, I'm recording maybe the four tracks about the same thing. And a lot of it, I love the competitiveness in hip hop, right? Like
Yeah.
where you compete with anyone else. And I'm not trying to diss or beef, but just like, put art out there, but with
Huh.
the intention of I can do what anyone else is doing and probably even better. But I
Sure.
started noticing that I started falling into that thing a lot, right?
Right.
Especially because being in the US, and I still consider myself to be a part of the Indian hip hop scene. So
Got you.
constantly trying to like, okay, I can keep making music which will be competitive. I noticed that that's just like the only lane that I'm following. So I decided to give that a break and really go inwards of figuring out, oh, where do I want to take this next.
Yeah, man.
And for 2 years, I released some music which was just pending, but I just recorded. I went to the studio, and for 2 years I thoroughly just recorded.
Wow.
And I'm not gonna lie, I just started falling in love with this shit all over again. Like I
Yeah,
really,
man.
really, yeah,
What you're saying right now is exactly the way I feel with the whole Desi hip hop scene. So
yeah.
I actually, being out there in LA, I was really involved in the whole regular hip hop scene and the mainstream hip hop scene with like Loud Records, Virgin, New Tribe, like Sony, all these guys, right?
Hmm.
And I never really gave Indian hip hop like any kind of regard. And then I came out here. I gave up music as well for about 6 years. I also was doing something else. I was like, yo, I just kind of need to, get a blank slate kind of thing, exactly like what you're saying, and just kind of reassess things. Um, and then I ran into a few people. I don't know. Do you know DJ Yuri?
I have heard the name. I know
Okay.
DJ Yuri has. I know he's interviewed Sanjay from Khatarnak Hip Hop Collective. He's one of my closest boys,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
know
yeah,
even
yeah.
he's.
So
I think Sanjay's also been on your show, if I'm not wrong, right?
yeah, yeah, no, no. So we started this show together. Yuri and I started this show together. and
Got it.
and
Okay.
yeah. So that show we did out in Delhi, it was both him and I. We both went
Okay.
out there. We did that. That's when I was kind of breaking into the scene and kind of getting to understand it. And he kind of really showed me like, yo, this is what really is going on in the Indian hip hop scene. I was like, I was mind blown, bro.
I don't know
And I,
much about DJ Yuri, but I know that
yeah,
he is a very, very pivotal part of
yeah,
the Bombay, not just like the hip hop scene, but just like music scene in general. Like
yeah,
he
man.
has been there since the inception, and from what I know is like he was a part of the inception as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But yeah,
100%.
so
And it was
you,
crazy. So it was
yeah.
crazy the way that we met. He's the OG. They call him the Baba. He did a
Hmm.
lot. He did a lot of stuff with a lot of the elements, if whether it's break dancing, graffiti, MCs, DJs. He's always been at the forefront of it, especially in the growth here in India. He's
Yeah,
done stuff with like embassies, foreign embassies. He's done all that stuff. So exactly what you're saying is right. And it was just a by chance meeting. We were on the train. We were going from Surat to Bombay, and we ended up sitting next to each other. And he was working on
wow, wow.
DJ software. Yeah, this is exactly the way it happened. And I'm looking at him. He's got his headphones on. He's working on a set. And I'm just watching him for like a good hour and a half. And then finally, he took his headphones off and he put them down. Now I tapped him on the shoulder. I was like, "Yo, bro, I know this is a dumbass question, but you got to be a DJ, right?" And he goes, "Yeah." And then and
Hmm.
then he realized that I had like a foreign accent as well. He's got a British accent. So we just started chopping it
Hmm.
up. We just started chopping it up and talking, and he goes like, "Oh, you work as a DJ, this and that." It's like, "Yeah, I kind of gave it up." And then he just schooled me on the whole fucking scene, bro.
Yeah,
That next hour or next hour and a half train ride was one of the most pivotal train rides I think I've ever had. Um, and
I'm glad that happened.
yeah, man. And we started talking, and we end up living only like 20 minutes from each other. And
Phenomenal.
yeah, and that was right when COVID happened too. So then we end up putting the show together, and we wanted to focus on not mainstream hip hop. We want to focus on Desi, like underground hip hop, like what the scene is, what's driving this whole genre, right? And
Yeah.
uh, and we just connected like that. And I've been DJing for years. I'm an audio engineer by profession. And then I kind of gave it up because I was doing sports and stuff like that. I'm also a professional athlete. I was not anymore, not anymore. uh,
I mean, I can play
but
chess. I don't know if that counts.
yeah. I mean, it's a sport. It's a sport.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah, so he started introducing me to a lot of people. I think Khatarnak was one of the first crews that I actually went and met with because of the whole COVID thing. It was our first event we did with them. It was called Bring the Ruckus and stuff like that. It was really cool, like being in that scene, meeting them. Sanjay and I still talk very often. Um, and I think at that point that's when Desi Hip Hop, the label, was really doing a lot of stuff at that point, right? From US and stuff like that.
Desi hip hop was it was not a label. Strange that you bring this up. I was actually working with
Yeah.
Desi hip hop. I was in their editorial and I used to do interviews and
Right.
all of that.
Right.
But they've always been a huge, huge support to the scene. I don't want to say that they were a label or not because I was not aware about that. I don't think so. It was a label, but I could be wrong. But they were very, very involved with the scene they were trying to do something for the mainstream, but they've always been pivotal when it comes to like the underground. And yeah, Sanjay was a part of a lot of discussions, a lot of things that they wanted to
Sure, sure.
run in Delhi.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right, right.
and yeah, man. Before I get into my music, I just want to say this: like, Khatarnak Hip Hop Collective is the most authentic version of
The
Indian hip
most
hop.
dangerous crew in India, man. The most
Yeah,
dangerous crew in
yeah,
India. I'm telling you, man. They're so underrated, bro. Especially
yeah,
Sanjay. I tell him all the time. I'm like, bro, you're so underrated. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
not just his
yeah.
voice is very unique. His
Not just
style,
that,
everything is so unique, man.
I
I love it.
I I met these dudes like possibly 12, 13 years ago, and their entire narrative and anything and everything that they have done. Not saying it is incredible how they have still maintained their authenticity, their
Yeah,
stories. They're still doing this, like, and they are like, I do not see a lot of people who are for the culture as much as
yeah,
I see these guys.
yeah, man.
So
Yeah, man.
hats off to these guys.
No, 100%, bro. I
Yeah,
totally agree with you. That's the reason why I
yeah,
say it is because they are really driving a lot of the culture that's out there, and they're kind of setting standards that I think a lot of the big names might be trying to copy them. Like, that's the way when I'm listening to music, I kind of feel like, wow, like I've heard this before. Like I've heard this style in a different way, and then somebody else kind of takes it. Especially a lot of the Dilly artists. Um, I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
saying anything about anybody. I'm not saying anything about anybody. I'm just saying, like, it that's something I think we should definitely talk about because I want to know
Yeah.
what you think about the whole scene now. Forget
There,
the whole record label things, right? A
one
lot of
last thing
people, yeah,
before just one last thing about Qatar. They are the
sure,
difference
sure,
in
sure,
they're the difference between being hip hop and living hip hop. All right.
yeah,
I would leave that to the listeners to decide what they think. Khatarnak Hip Hop
yo,
Collective.
yeah, yeah, man,
Yeah,
I get you,
yeah,
I get you.
yeah.
That's a good way of
Sorry.
putting it. That's definitely a good
Yeah,
way of
yeah,
putting it.
yeah.
Definitely a good
You can
way to
have
put it.
the tattoos, you can have the lifestyle, you can have whatever the fuck you want. You can
Yeah,
have
yeah,
whatever the fuck you want to. But when it comes to being there, supporting the culture, putting out
sure.
your music out there, nothing better than Khatarnak Hip Hop Collective.
Sure, man.
Now we can go back to your question. I'm sorry. All
Yeah,
right.
so okay, let's get back to this. So I was asking you about the whole label game. Obviously, you're independent right now. Right now that you're getting back into the biz, are you signing with anybody? How are you navigating that? What are your thoughts on that, man?
No, I'm not signing to anyone. Not that any labels are looking out. For me, my main aim as of right now is to just put out all the music that I have in store. I just did like an EP. I think so. The track which got us connected through Ruckus Avenue was Rasta. That's with
Yeah, yeah.
the
I played it
yeah.
last
That's
week.
with.
Yeah, I
Oh,
played it
thank
last
you,
week.
sir. Cheers, man.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot.
man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
That,
yeah, yeah.
that
No doubt.
that's with the Pioneer MC DMC. Uh, so that is a part of a tape called YAILTY, which is an abbreviation for Your Anxiety is Lying to You. So there is a lot of music that I've been accumulating, and for now, I just want to put it out there. I, honest to God, don't care much about labels. I do not know if two people listen to it, or 200 people listen to it, or 2 million people listen to it. I've made my peace with the fact that for me, my music needs to be about what the fuck I'm going through, right?
Sure,
And to put it out there. Even before this music, I've had received, just like a lot of other artists out there, that this or that song of mine ended up with someone who was about to take his life and he or she didn't do it. So I've already made, so, compared to that versus getting 100,000 streams on any body of work, I always trump how my music might make or break someone, right?
sure.
That to me will be the most important thing. Now,
Yeah, man.
in order to execute that, if a label wants to join uh, their forces with me, I'll be more than happy to welcome that. Doesn't seem likely though. So that's why for now, my main aim is to just put out music out there and being independent. Uh, there are a lot of artists who are doing this and killing it, right? Just being
Yeah, man.
independent, putting music. So
Yeah, man.
I my main aim is right now just keep the music going out there. There's at least 2 albums worth of stuff which is still on me. We right
Whoa.
now. Yeah, we right now doing
Whoa,
yeah, we right now doing music video shoots and doing all of that, having fun,
nice.
like, you know. So by me,
Sure.
I'm trying my best not to get bogged down by, because as soon as I start thinking about labels and all of that, I think so it takes away from the fun part of music from me. I've
Yeah, yeah,
seen
man.
a lot of cats who are making music out there, and it's very label driven music.
Yeah, man.
All right.
For sure.
So
That's
yeah.
why. That's why
All
I
right.
ask you, because I kind of feel like you're fresh back into it. You have a fresh sense of the scene. You know what
Yeah.
you want to do. You've already
Yeah.
been in it for a while. You're somewhat of a veteran now, and now
Yeah.
you know like all those mistakes that happened before aren't going to happen again, right? So I
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of feel like that's why I wanted to ask you this question, because, and I asked a
And
lot of artists. Yeah, I asked a
and
lot of artists this question.
I have I have worked with a label before as well,
Right, right,
right?
right.
Through Desi Hip Hop itself, they had a project with a very major label. I'm not going to get into names and whatever whatnot,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
it's
I know it is.
yeah,
I know it is.
yeah. So and it's going to be a very quick search for YouTube. I'll send you the link later, whatever.
Yeah,
So just
yeah.
like working on one song with them made me realize like this is now it's a very different ball game. Originally, say 20 years ago, label would have people who would scout for talent, right?
Hmm.
Who would keep their ears to the street, try to listen to people who are dope, like someone who has lyrics or is popping up or is trying to
Hmm.
going viral organically in our time, like back like 16, 15 years ago would be like either CDs are burning or passing music through around Bluetooth or something like that. It wasn't as
Yeah,
easy as it
yeah.
is right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, bro. We
Mm,
used to go to. We used to go to as DJs. We used to go mix CDs and just
yeah,
pass them out for free at like college parties, at Desi
yeah,
college parties, just so people
yeah,
got to know who we were, right? So I
exactly.
get it. Yeah, it was a whole
S-
different. It was a
So
guerrilla warfare, bro. It was
So
crazy. Yeah.
that's how you used to get on a label's radar.
Right.
Now
Right.
it's very different. Now it's numbers, followers, streams,
Yeah.
right?
It doesn't even matter what kind of music you're making.
Yeah, yeah,
They
yeah,
just want to
exactly.
see the numbers. That's it.
Yeah.
They won't even
So
listen to your one track. They just want to see your numbers. That's it. That's it.
because I've been see man, for me, in order to get in touch with a label is not it's not very hard for anyone, but especially for someone
Yeah.
who's been in the scene for 15 plus years,
Exactly.
it's not very difficult, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And whenever
Exactly.
I've tried having those conversations, within the first 15 minutes, I know this is not for me because he's like, yeah, you got to work on the aesthetics of your Instagram and these numbers. And like, we'll have to work on the followers. So it's been 20 minutes since we started this conversation. When do we talk about the music and when do we talk about like,
Yeah.
what I'm willing to work with you and I'm willing to
Yeah.
give you my music and I'm also willing to listen to feedback, but not like that needs to be the main priority. I don't go to a
Yeah.
restaurant to figure out how the tables are, how the chairs are the waitress or the waiters
Yeah.
okay with
Yeah.
me? I need to know what the food is, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Right?
That's a great way to putting it. Yeah, man. I
Right?
get
So
it. I
that's
get
how
it. I get it.
so that's how I look at it. So for me, coming back, it's like 100 ways to say the same thing and sorry to sound like a broken record. For me, the main aim
No.
is
No.
put the music out there and honestly just have fun with it. And
Yeah,
I've
man.
noticed that ever since I have been having fun with it, I've been gigging around a little with a couple of Desi acts over here. Shout out to this crew called The Formula. I linked up with them. He's a member of this crew. He's been having gigs. He's been pulling me in.
Uh huh.
So ever since I stopped caring a lot about okay these playlists and all of that, I've been having fun. And guess what's happening? Everything else is following now. I see
Yes.
I see a few streams also coming in. I see the song getting playlisted in
Yes.
Apple Music. I see, so like the only thing it's not doing for me right now is, and which I made my peace with as well, is paying the bills. And
Yeah.
I'm actually a certified pharmacist. I work in healthcare IT right now.
I was gonna
That's what
ask
is
you this
paying.
question. Yeah, I was gonna ask
Yeah,
you this question. What do you do to pay the bills? What are you doing that's gonna possibly, if you're gonna make that transition, what are you gonna give up? Right? Like that's why I was gonna ask you this question.
yeah.
Okay. All
I,
right.
I
So
don't
you're a
think I'll ever.
farm MD. You're a farm
Yeah,
MD.
no, I'm a pharmacist. So I'm a pharmacist, but I did my master's from India. We are not in
Okay.
in
Okay.
India.
Okay.
It's not farm. So what you're saying is Farm D. Over here,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's Farm D. It's like a doctor of pharmacy.
Right. 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 Okay.
Just
Just
when
asking.
I no, no, that's fine. I love to do it. I'm a nerd when it comes to science, unfortunately, as well. When I graduated in 2013, 2 years later, India decided to convert all their pharmacy degrees. Otherwise, I just miss out by 2 years for being a doctor, or else I would
Yeah,
have
man.
been a doctor. Yeah, but that's okay.
No, I get you, man. Out here, the whole education. I've worked in the education system for numerous years, and I still do actually. So I know
Wow.
how things change. Yeah, I know how things change. I've seen kids have to repeat their grade because they changed the dates of by 1 day. They had to repeat a whole grade because of 1 day.
One day. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I've seen that happen. So I get it, man. So that's kind of the thing of navigating like the two worlds, like you said. You're coming from India, going to US. Not just
yeah,
are you working out there now you're also doing music that is actually really growing out here in India and now across the world now. What do you see as far as the growth of Desi hip hop in America? Because I haven't been there for the last 9 years now. What do you see?
yeah. I'm glad you bring this up, and I will
Yeah,
also piggyback a little bit on what I was just saying a
yeah,
few sentences ago about the crew, the form. So
right.
I moved here 2016, and since 2016 till 2022, I was making music, but I was reaching out to a lot of ciphers in uh, the local scene over here,
Sure,
right?
sure.
Which has all the native MCs coming through and
Yeah,
this that. But that's also when I started making the transition from just Hindi or English to just Hinglish. Hinglish is essentially combining Hindi as
combination.
well
Yeah,
as Hindi, right? So I
I've been
know,
learning that. I've
yeah,
been learning all this stuff.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's honestly it's an unofficial language, and especially for
yeah,
folks
yeah,
like you and me who have been living in
yeah,
two different countries. You got to connect with people
yeah,
out
yeah,
here, people back
yeah, yeah.
home. You got to switch
So
it
even
whenever you need
so,
to.
it's just not even with Hindi. Actually, with a lot of rap that I've been listening to. I mean, we're talking about Bengali,
Yeah,
Tamil, Marathi, Punjabi. Like everything is just fusing, and I love it. So yeah,
not just
that's really
that.
cool. That yeah, you're
There is
understanding
there
that too.
is there's no Spanglish. There's French English, right?
Exactly,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's so many things.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I've said so many fucking times, bro. I've said
Yeah, so
so many times that Hindi and all that, Hindi, our whole Desi movement, is gonna affect American hip hop just as much as Spanish did with the
yeah,
whole Spanglish thing. I really have a feeling about that. Like,
that's what
we're the next frontier, man. We're the next
I will
frontier.
come back to this, but I
Yeah.
have one of my closest mates. He lives in Montreal, and
Okay.
Montreal is apparently the second biggest mecca for French Canadian hip hop. It's like
Yep.
French hip hop coming out of other
Yeah.
than France is mostly coming out of Montreal. Like it
Yeah.
is, it's a very interesting world to be in right now.
Yes. Yes. I agree, man.
Coming back to our question, so that's when I used to show up to these ciphers. I started getting in touch with people, but I realized that there is a ceiling to this. Like they would come to the shows, they would listen to me rap, and they would not understand a lot of it, but they would still know that I'm dope because of the cadence, flows, and all the technical aspects. And I started
Yeah.
realizing that as much as I enjoy this, I do want to connect with a more Desi audience, right? And that's when I started doing a little more research, and I came across a very, very small but growing group of artists in the East Coast, at least. Right? There are shows
Okay.
happening. There are things like Pop Shift. There is a lot of Desi Arts Festival, and now they are getting a lot of prominent North American Desi acts. Right? Like you have OGs who I grew up listening to, like Rackstar, and these
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah. Yeah.
Fateh from
Yeah.
Canada. These guys are coming to
Yeah.
shows
Yeah.
in New York, right? And because of that, there are acts who have looked up to them, born in the US, who started making music. And that's when I came across this crew called The Formula, which is of four guys, right? It's
Okay.
Y, RMS, YDV,
Oh
Naman.
yeah, RMS. I've heard of RMS. Yeah, yeah, I've heard of
Oh, yeah,
RMS.
bro. Yeah, that
Yeah,
man's
yeah,
an
yeah,
alien.
yeah,
He's an alien. He's
yeah. I've heard of RMS for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, 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 bro.
No, no.
Everyone's hurt. Like that kid is not kid. I'm sorry. That dude is
Yeah.
on. I need to get him on one of my tracks as well. We've spoken about it. Let's see when it happens. So yeah,
Yeah, man.
these
Send it to me
guys.
when it happens. Send it to
Oh,
me.
absolutely, boss.
Yeah.
You'll get the exclusive.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, man.
just like the way
Word.
you heard of RMS, right? There are a lot of other acts, maybe not as big as him, but there are a lot of other acts which are out there. And now, because of my interactions with these guys, hopping on some music with them, I have seen that there is a scene that's growing. And what's funny is that I
Yeah,
now see this same, like the kind of activities and events and music that these guys are working on right now is very similar to what was happening
hmm
with Desi hip hop back in Delhi, Bombay, Bangalore, like some 10 to, like, I think according to me, the, the latest hip hop scene, the Indian hip hop scene started exploding somewhere around 2013, 2014. It was being done even
yeah,
before that, but 2013, 2014, right around when Divine Drop Mere Gali Mein was when this thing
yeah. So
became,
I was about to say that. I was about to
yeah,
say it was pretty much when Gully Boy came out that a lot of it became I think acceptable to a lot of
yeah,
people.
yep. So,
It didn't define it. It didn't define it. It
no, no,
just
no,
made
no.
it more acceptable. It just made it more acceptable,
So, Mere
right?
Gali Mein, the track, oh, 100%. Mere Gali
Yeah,
Mein,
yeah,
the track came out in 2015. The movie came out, I think so, 2018, 2019, either one of those 2 years.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Within those 4 years, we started figuring out, or at least all the artists started seeing, boys, there is something that we have here.
Yep,
There is a
yep, yep.
scene that's going, that's definitely exploring. And then what that movie did for that, for all of us was, it just made our conversations a lot
Validated.
more easier.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
validated everything,
All right.
man.
All right,
Yeah.
that's when it transcended borders. That's when you see people going on Ebro. That's when you see Indian artists like collaborating with a lot of American artists, Punjabi singers
Hmm.
collaborating with rappers out here and all of that, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
that's when we started like the kind of gigs, open mics, like all of those things that were happening at that point in time. I see the same stuff happening right now over here, where
Bro, you said it.
yeah,
You freaking said it, bro.
yeah, yeah,
Bro,
no,
that's why I've fallen in love with it again because it's
yeah,
so nostalgic of the 90s when I was living in LA. And
exactly,
it's
and
so nostalgic.
props to
Yeah, man.
all of these folks, man. Like who are trying to. I absolutely love it. Especially this one dude. His name's Y. He's a part of the crew. He is sort of like a pillar when it comes to a lot of these acts. He just releases. Yo, you should definitely check out some of his shit.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna.
Send me some
I'm.
links.
se-
Send me
I'm
some links.
I'm
Tell him
sending
to
you
send
his
me
music.
some
Is
tracks. Tell him to send me some tracks. We'll put him on the show, bro. F
100%.
the F the rest.
Yeah.
Just send me some tracks. Send me the audio files,
All
and
right.
we'll put them on.
So this guy put like 16 collaborators on his album. And
Okay.
all of them are other than me. I think most of them are based out of the US. Just because of the one album, I now know like 16 other artists, and not that I'm working with them, but out of those
So there's a
16, a lot,
connection.
not just connection. A lot of these guys are already on the cusp of blowing up. Like, like when I say on the cusp of blowing up, they've already been getting the numbers. They've already been getting the streams. They've already been having their mini shows inside, right? So, and that's exactly what happened back in India. Like one show would have 2 to 3 great acts, but then the finisher or the final act would be someone like a Divine or a Krishna, right?
Sure,
And
sure, sure, sure.
right, and that's exactly what's happening over here. So I think wherever there is gonna be not just hip hop, but like a new movement, I think so. The first few steps are always gonna be the same,
Yeah, man.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah. It's
and
very nostalgic, bro.
yeah,
You're feeling it
and
on both sides. That's why I asked
oh
you
yeah,
what's going on out there. That's
yeah.
why I want to know what's going on out there.
And man, I
Okay.
absolutely have to tell you, for me, the one thing which I love about hip hop is the community aspect to it.
Yeah.
Right? There's always gonna be someone who will be a torch bearer, and that's the thing. A torch bearing the torch is not a single lap; it's multiple laps by multiple people.
Sure.
Right? There's never going to be just one single torch bearer. Right now we have
Yeah,
people
yeah.
like Divine, Chris Araftars. Now they're going to be a second generation of acts. Right? We already have see them all.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
These guys,
See them
Sanjay,
on
Prabdeep.
Prabdeep. Yeah,
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 these guys.
yeah,
Right?
bro. Yeah, yeah. And
So
there's a lot of females too, like DMC, Agsy,
DMC. Yeah,
Raja Kumari. Like there's
yeah.
that generation too, right? Or
Right.
I would say Agsy is a little bit more newer. She's probably maybe second generation, but yeah,
I
for sure, man.
ba-
I agree.
Based on what you said, I would say it's Rajakumari, who's probably one of the
First
earlier
generation.
generations, first
Yeah, yeah.
generation. So there's a part where DMC is not very old. I know she's younger than me, but she's still been in the scene for at least a decade plus, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's in the same bracket as Rajakumari's, but Rajakumari has a
yeah,
lot more
yeah.
experience under her.
No, I know Deepa too. I've
Yeah,
hung out with her quite a few times. Um,
fire.
yeah. So there, that's the thing. Like, I know we know a lot of the same people, but you're also experiencing the whole scene little bit differently in the U.S.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why, man. So let me just ask you another question. So now that you're independent and now that you understand that there's so much going on, how are you handling like your social media, your video shoots, I mean, you're probably obviously funding your own stuff, but still, like, who's running all that stuff? Are you going to be able to run all that yourself? Because I know you'll be able to get to that point, but then when does it get to that point where you're like, okay, I need to hire somebody else. I need to put somebody else in charge of this. Like, you know what I mean? I've
Yeah,
been
yeah, no,
through that. That's
100%.
why I'm trying to ask. Yeah,
So, so there are two things. One is my entire music thing, which includes the recording, videos, and all of that. And there's another thing that I've been working on. It's a project called Butter Chicken Gang. I would love to tell you about that in a bit.
yeah,
I
sure.
I have reached a point where, by the grace of God, where I am able to fund most of my music. Now, what comes with the access to finances is that I can put a team around myself. So
Yeah,
now what I'm doing is, as of right now, I book studio time, go into the studio, record my own music. I have producers. Most of my producers are actually still based in India. Shout out to Premium. He produced most of what your this last EP was. So
dope.
and all of these guys, like, they get paid. I have also realized this, like, asking for favors will only get you so far, right?
100%, man.
And favors don't pay bills. That's
Yep.
right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
bro.
so
I've had the same realization when I came to India. Everybody's always
yeah,
asking something for free,
yeah,
and those projects never fucking go anywhere. They
yeah,
never go
yeah.
anywhere.
I've been done that.
It's
Just so you know,
and
when
it's
I did
and
not have
it's
money,
on no timeline. Yeah, there's no
yeah,
timeline. It's
yeah,
just yeah, it's so annoying. So I've even everybody that works in my studio, everything that I do, I make sure everybody gets paid. Um, Ruckus actually sponsors my studio assistant. So, like, it's that's the way to do it. That's the only way we keep
th-
increasing our status. And that's good.
that's
That
the,
I'm happy you say that. Yeah, I'm really happy you say that,
right.
man.
So just like for my music, I have like my producers, my mix engineer, he's based out of here. For my
Yeah,
videos, I have an entire team. I
cool.
have my videographer over here. His name's Akshat. He's working with the. I don't know if you've seen the visuals for Rasta. That's
Yeah,
the visuals.
I have. Yeah. So
So that
you did
was
you come to India for that?
no. D was in the US for that.
You came to India.
No, DMC was over here.
So, oh, she was out there.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
all
Oh,
right.
dude, she's been all over the globe, man. DMC, she's been
Yeah, yeah. No,
touring the US. She's been in the UK.
no, I know. No, I know she's doing her thing. I'm not mad at her,
Yeah,
man. She's doing her thing. I wasn't sure how it happened because the video turned out really well.
yeah,
That's why I was even going to ask you about that earlier, but I was like, I'm not going to ask him. But yeah, so that's exactly what it was. Okay, that's really cool, man. And a lot of these artists from out here are coming out there too, so that's really
yes.
dope too. So, like, for the way everything is going is very cool, man. I really like it, man.
I appreciate
I
that,
really
brother.
like it.
So yeah,
Yeah,
for the
man.
videos, I have a team over here. They're shooting. So I got my producer back in India. His name's Premium. Mostly I'm working with him, or honestly, I've also just been relentlessly going through YouTube beats. I see something
Cool.
I like, I either lease it, purchase it, try to reach out to the guy, buy the stems, have my mix engineer help me with the whole thing over here. Shout out to
Okay.
Jay. Uh, and the video for Rasta was actually shot at his studio itself,
Got it.
Max
Got it.
Smooth. And for
Very cool.
videos, I have a two people crew over here. Katie, his name's Karun, and Akshat. He's a video director. So they are taking care of all my creatives for now.
Got
And
it.
yeah, man, it's all independent,
Yeah,
and we are
man.
doing this by ourselves.
It gets kind of crazy, huh? It gets
Oh,
really
it
wild,
does.
bro.
Oh no, no, it does. It
It
does. It
gets
does.
wild, bro.
Well, you
Yeah,
know
man.
what, man? It doesn't get all that crazy because I am not putting any sort of At least I hope. I'm not putting any sort of pressure on these guys, right? And everyone's super fucking punctual with whatever it is. Whenever there are like I think I have not had to chase anyone from my team to look up for where my work is at, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
they work with deadlines, and I'm never pressuring them into it. And honestly, I if I need something by Monday, but it shows up on Tuesday, I'm at a stage where no one is really waiting for it. Like,
There's no
it's
major
no
loss. I
problem.
get it.
Yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I
So yeah,
get you.
that's pretty much the whole team right now.
So I think especially like especially when you're independent, I think and doing a lot of this stuff yourself, keeping it bootstrapped, the quality of the stuff is also important. Like
I
more than the time, it's about the quality and the presentation of it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's kind of where I've been seeing like a lot of artists now that they're doing a lot of stuff in house. Like a lot of artists even actually are producing themselves,
hmm
recording themselves, mixing themselves, mastering themselves, and doing everything
It's
in house like themselves and
I
their social media. And I'm just
I
like mind blown. I'm like, how do you do that? That's just
I
out
don't
of control still.
honestly, man. You can look at my social media. My social media is very, very like me and my uh video crew. I keep joking with them. I'm like, yo, guys, we gotta get some photo shoots or some shit in because my Instagram is starting to look like one of my chachas. Like, like I'm traveling here. This is my dog. This is my wife, and all of that.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, I get you, man. Oh yeah, speaking about your wife, you just got married recently, right?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
Congratulations. Yeah,
Thanks.
congratulations to you both. Yes.
Thanks,
Yes,
brother.
yes,
Thanks a
yes,
lot.
yes.
We
Uh
had a small group, went to
it's
Punta Cana, had like 3 days at a resort over there, all
okay.
inclusive. Everyone had a blast.
Very
Had more
cool, man.
had more tequila than water, and I'm
That's good.
oh
I
yeah,
heard I heard that's the best alcohol to drink actually is tequila. I heard that's the most healthiest from all of
man.
them.
I don't know about that. I'm a very like shout out to my dad. He made me grow up as a very conventional whiskey drinker.
Okay.
Right. I conventionally only like not only, but that's what most of my bar would have.
Yeah, yeah, of
But
course.
but I just realized tequila is a cheat code, right?
Yes.
Like two whiskeys, like like if you have two like 230 ml scotches after three
Yeah, yeah.
tequilas, man, they hit different.
Yeah, yeah, it's just not, it's not that deal.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I get it, man.
yeah.
Just a quick question: what's your background? Like, what are you Punjabi? Are you like,
No, no. So my parents are from Uttar Pradesh, UP.
yeah, you UP? Okay,
Yeah, yeah. I was born in the US, but
got
I
you.
moved but I moved back to India when I was around 3 or 4.
Shit. Okay.
है ना? So I moved to India when I was 3 or 4. By the time I was 7 or 8 years old, I started grasping the fact that I should have had an American accent. Like, so I grew up in Delhi,
Yeah.
went to school over there in Delhi,
Yeah.
started rapping when I was in the ninth grade, uh, kept rapping until high school. After that, I went to Chandigarh for pharmacy school. I went to
Okay.
Punjab University. So
Cool.
and I think a lot of my time in Punjab University is really rubbed onto me because a lot of people have this assumption in the scene that I'm Punjabi.
Yeah, yeah.
More
That's
so,
why I asked. That's
yeah,
why I
no,
asked.
no, it's a very, like, Punjabis are known to be loud. They're known to, like,
So
they're
are
known to,
Gujus. So are Gujus.
oh, yeah, yeah. Man, I'm going to tell you a joke later on after this, just about
Yeah,
Gujus.
yeah, definitely.
That's my observation, right?
Yeah,
So,
let's do it.
so I spent 4 years in, sorry, yeah, I spent 4 years in Chandigarh, worked with the pharmaceutical companies after that for 2 years. Had a small stint in Antigua in a med school, decided not to become a doctor, come back.
Okay.
Then once I came back, I did my master's from Manipal University down south. Did that. Then it was just a point that this was during like the whole Trump thing when he was getting through for the first time. I'm like, you know what? If I
Yeah.
need to do something or if I want to do something in the US, despite of having the citizenship, right now is probably the right time because things
Yeah,
might
yeah,
get
yeah.
super, super difficult, which it has for a lot of my other peers and
Yeah, man.
contemporaries ever
No,
since
I
then.
know.
Separate
I know, I know.
podcast. That's a separate podcast
Yeah,
altogether.
yeah. I
So,
tend to stay away from the whole political
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I think
So
there's very obvious stuff that is universal, right?
yeah.
That's it. That's all I
So
can say. Yeah.
that's what we all can say. Otherwise, you and me both
Yeah.
will get cancelled.
So true though.
Oh,
So
it
true,
is.
dog.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
so true. So true. So true.
Right. So after that, came to the US, started working in New Jersey, and all through my education, be it Chandigarh, working in Gurgaon, Delhi, or going to Manipal for my masters, I have always been making music, and that's what it has. When I was in
Dope.
Chandigarh, I linked up with the folks over there. When I was in Manipal, I linked up with folks down south. Shout out to Smokey. I During my masters, I had to
Where's
do my
Smokey? Wait, where are you in? Where's
Smokey the
Smokey?
Ghost. Smokey the
Smokey
Ghost.
the
Ghost.
Smokey the
Bro, he's
Ghost.
a pioneer from Bangalore.
What?
Yeah. Smokey the Ghost. He's a pioneer. He used to be in a crew called MWA, which was him, another
What?
dude called Big Nick, and Brother V.
Brother V, of course. I know Brother V,
Yeah.
obviously. Brother
So
V.
Brother
Yeah, I
V,
know Brother V.
Brother V, Smokey, and Big Nick were a part of the same crew called MWA.
Oh
And
shit! Get the fuck out of here.
you know Smokey?
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know them too. I know about Brother V, but I don't know
Okay.
about these other dudes. Yeah,
I've
that's
not touched base.
crazy.
Smokey, yeah. Smokey is to Bangalore what uh Encore from Bombay is to Bombay. It's like that.
I get you. I get you.
All right.
Well, now there's a new guy. Now there's a new guy from Bangalore that's supposed to be doing big things, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
He's gone global now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good to know these things. I think knowing the history and being able to put it out there is
Hmm.
half of what I'm trying to do. I want to make sure the people that are given that should get their props are getting their props
Oh,
first and foremost.
100%, 100%,
Yeah,
100%.
first
So,
and foremost.
so it
Yeah.
was him. I linked up with him. He hooked me up to a bunch of shows and people in Bangalore, right? And then came back, came over here, just been making music and all of that.
Okay. Cool,
Yep.
man. No, that's really cool,
So
man. So yeah,
that's what the journey's been.
what's your projects that you're doing right now? Are you doing just singles right now? Are you like
No,
you said you have two albums that are ready? How are you
yeah,
gonna be presenting it out to the listeners? Let them know what to expect from you, bro. Let
100%.
them know. Yeah, let them know.
So the last body of work, YAILTY, that's Your Anxiety is Lying to You. It's out on all streaming platforms.
What is
Shout
that
out to
again? What is that
your
again?
your anxiety is lying to you.
Oh yeah, your anxiety is lying to you. Yeah. Okay. I remember
That's the
seeing
name
that.
of the project. It's
Okay,
got Prabdeep on it. It's got DMC on it. Shout
right.
out to both of them. Shout out to Premium who
Yeah,
produced it. Next
definitely.
project is called Upwards and Onwards. Uh,
Okay.
I we have that album finished around 1.5 years ago. Uh, I have always dealt with anxiety, so I did not think it was the right time for me to put out a body of work that I don't reflect with. So I started just putting down pen to paper, started journaling, started realizing that this is not journaling. I'm literally freestyling with my pen. Started recording a lot of that stuff. That's what made the EP. Now with the album, there are a couple of revisions that I've made to it. A couple of people who were on it are not on it anymore. A couple of newer folks are now on it. And I am right now just choosing album covers. Uh, Shout out to my boy Sammy. His name's Art Sort, another dope artist out of Delhi who's been helping me run Butter Chicken Gang production house. Uh,
Make sure you connect me with these guys, man. I want to make sure we stay connected because I know
Bilkul, bro.
they're doing it. Yeah.
Bilkul, bilkul, bilkul.
Just as
We are
a
there on,
network, right? Yeah.
yeah, man, you'll be spammed on WhatsApp. Don't worry about it. You'll reach a point where you'll be like, bro, kid, relax.
No, I love it. I love it, bro. I've been talking to everybody from Mass Appeal, Gully Gang, Def Jam India, Azadi, obviously.
Mhm.
So many. Everybody. I'm talking to everybody. All the independents. Like
Got it.
this is what I want to do. This is why I'm saying it's bigger than hip hop. That's why my show's name is that because it's
Yeah.
not just hip hop. Because a lot of people's like passion is in this. Like a lot of people. You know
100%,
what I
bro.
mean? Like you're making a great living, but your passion is so hard that you're like, you know what? I
No, no, no.
still want to put that much time into this.
No one's making a great living, bro. We paying bills out
But
here.
yeah, I mean you're a pharmacist, so I mean you're comfortable. You're not like struggling. You know what I
No, no,
mean?
no, no.
Like
I
not anymore.
used,
Like yeah, and you're
I,
educated and you're married. You're doing your thing. You're building your life, but you're still choosing to take a big
oh yeah.
risk here. Yeah, that's my point. That's my point.
Yeah. So
That's my
one
point.
correction minor that I used to be a pharmacist. Now I would just work in pharmaceutical companies. I work in their
Oh, okay,
healthcare IT side. Yeah. Analytics,
okay.
numbers,
Okay,
all
okay,
the
okay, okay, cool. I have
all
a
the
lot of
boring
people
stuff.
in pharmaceuticals and supplies and marketing and all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
Bro,
yeah, I'll let
you're
you.
good Jew, bro. You gotta have them. You
Wait,
gotta have 'em.
either we have that or hotels, like that or hotels, or like it's
Nah,
my thing.
nah.
I'm
You guys
Patel.
also
I'm Patel. No, I'm
you guys al-
Patel.
you guys also have the liquor stores, bro.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
So hospitality, anything in hospitality. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. 7
Hospitality and
Elevens.
services. Yeah,
Yeah.
hospitality and
Yeah.
services
And I'm not trying to
that's what it is.
stereotype. This is what
No,
it
no,
is
no,
out there.
no, no. It is. It is. It is. It is. It
Yeah.
is. No,
Yeah.
honestly, our whole. So as far as Patels in general, I think we own like 30% of the commercial real estate in the U.S. From what I've heard, and
Jeez, man.
that's insane. That's just fucking
Bro,
insane, man.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm waiting for? I'm waiting for the first Patel to come through in the cannabis industry over here. That'll
Oh,
shape
I
they'll
have a lot of
shape
people, bro. I have all my boys out in L.A., man. They do a lot of stuff, man.
they
Yeah,
have
yeah.
their own cannabis shops and
Yeah,
all
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. I
There you
have.
go.
They have cannabis shops. They have hydro
Farms.
companies where they have farms. They have everything. Yeah, yeah. They're all doing it all legal, man. Very
That's
much so. Very much so. And it's actually growing out here in India too. A lot of
mm,
CBD stuff is growing out here in India.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and it's kind of slowly transitioning. I think people are starting to understand that this was a very Ayurvedic plant from the beginning, anyways. So
about time.
uh, yeah, yeah, man. I'm a hardcore. Even my grandmother, rest her soul, she died recently. She benefited a lot from the whole CBD lotions from her
No,
arthritis, and there
sorry
was
to hear
nothing
that.
that was helping her. Yeah, no, I mean she was old. She did her thing, man.
Okay.
My family, my mom's side of the family has lived such a great life. Like I'm not apologetic or like any in any way like negative about it. They're so positive, man. They had a
Glad to
great
hear that.
life, and yeah, man. And again, I think this kind of has to do with like kind of free thinking and like changing differently, whether it's artistically, lifestyle wise, whether where you live, like all those kind of things really play into it, man. uh
Yeah.
I really like you, man. We gotta have you on the show again one time, have you with some guests. I think we need to actually like kind of talk about now, like we were talking about this East Coast, or not East Coast, but this East versus West. How it's integrating, and I'd like to just personally have a lot of conversations with you on that.
Absolutely.
Not just about the artist that you mentioned earlier, but
No, no,
uh,
no, dude. Plenty of us. Like, believe me,
yeah,
there's plenty of things that I would love to talk to you about,
yeah, man,
especially being over there now over here and
yeah,
just seeing the scenes explode in both of those
yeah. That's
countries.
my point, dude. That's my fucking point, Doug. It's so mind blowing because I never thought in my wildest dreams it would happen and that I would be in India when it's happening. Like it's just
Bro, never in my wildest times did I thought that I'll be in the US when this is happening.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, I have friends who tell me like what we were trying to do 20 years ago is what
Hmm.
you're doing now. Like
Yeah.
we were all trying to do that back then. That was our dream, and then a lot of people just kind of gave it up and never came back to it. And
Yeah. Yeah. And
people like us, and people like us ignorant motherfuckers, we come
yeah,
back and we handle it.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man, we handle it.
You, I think so once you're able to differentiate between the artist and the culture,
Yeah,
you'll realize that it's a lot easier than it actually is. Like it's a lot
yeah,
more tougher inside your head. When you start doing it is only when it'll start becoming easier. So the first thing to do is to not give up. And this is
yeah,
coming
yeah.
from someone who's very good at giving up. I have given up music at least 20 times by now. So I know exactly
I gave it
what
up
did that.
once. Yeah, I
Yeah.
gave it up once. Yeah, I gave it up once.
I gave up music like maybe 4 times over the last 3 weeks, man. Like yeah. So all right. It's just like quitting. It's just like quitting cigarettes. Like,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
you think
No,
you
no.
will, but that
Yeah,
one
yeah, I
beer
get
and
you.
then you'll hold one more.
Yeah, yeah. Cheers to that.
Cheers, brother.
Either way, whenever you're out here, please let me know. I'd love to
Will do,
link
sir.
up with you. Can you
Will
give
do,
the
will do.
listeners, please give the listeners your social handles so they can follow you, YouTube, whatever it is, and anything upcoming that you're going to be doing too.
Sure. Uh, got some more music in the pipeline, probably coming out within the next 2 3 weeks. My
Dope.
socials are, wait, what are my socials? Yeah, it's realumreeki. R uh, REALUMREEKI. R as in Robert, E as in Edward. Like I can do that whole entire thing. I'm so
Yeah.
used to it. Just
So
whenever I say my name, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
go
No,
ahead.
I'll be tagging all this on my things. So
Yeah,
so definitely just yeah. Let them know, man. Everybody, make sure you guys follow this man. He's gonna be doing big things. Make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that to this man's channel because he's gonna be doing something big, man. I promise you.
appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, man. I kind of see it in you, man. I really feel like not just that. You came back at the right time. I really feel like, yeah, you
Thanks,
came
brother.
back at the right day. Yeah, yeah. So just handle it, bro. You know, I'm always here in support. Ruckus Avenue is always here in support, and we really
I
appreciate what you're doing, man.
shout out to DJ Artifx, shout out to
Yeah,
Anshul for being so responsive over the text and all of that and making this happen. I
for
appreciate
sure,
you
man.
guys more than you know.
Yeah, man. No, no, it's all good, man. We gotta keep this going. This is just the tip of the iceberg. We got so much more to go.
Yeah,
So much more to go, man. Um, Anything else you need, man, you let me know, bro. Send it across to me. We're gonna play a track of yours.
yeah.
Send me an exclusive. Send me an exclusive. I want to play an exclusive.
I'll tell you what. I'll send you the fucking can't talk. I'll send you the Google Drive link for the next
Okay.
EP
Huh.
album. Sorry, listen to it. Whatever you want to play it from, just let me know and I'll pass the wave file to you.
Cool, man. All
I,
right,
I
that's
think I
great,
know
man.
what you'll play. I think I know what you'll play, but I'll wait for you to answer just to see if I'm correct about that or not.
All right, word up, man. I appreciate it, bro. I thank you for taking your time to be out here and stay with us. I know you got to go. You got another meeting. You got to do your thing, man.
Exactly that,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
Exactly that.
Yeah. So go do your thing, bro. I appreciate it again. Once again, best to you and your wife and
Thanks,
everything
man.
else that you're doing. Yeah, and everything else that you're doing moving forward. Of course, always stay contacted with us and I stay connected, bro.
Will do, brother. I'm very, very sure
Yeah.
that this is first of a few conversations.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
I appreciate having everybody on consecutively because we want to know how your history is going, right? Otherwise, people don't know.
got it.
Doing a one off is like a one hit wonder. It's
Yeah,
not it's not fun. Yeah.
I agree with that.
All right. Yeah. Peace, man. Yeah.
Take
Much
it
love
easy,
to
brother.
you. Yeah.
Thanks, brother. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, brother. All right. One love, bro. Take
One
care.
love. Bye.
Yeah.